Greetings, Steve Scasebrook. And in this particular presentation, I'm going to start looking at the way that we do our CPD. Obviously, we'll have a quick look at what's up in the next couple of weeks that I know about. And then we'll go into a little bit of the way that I record my books, my library, my reading, and everything else, and how important it is. So, welcome to this, the AT-CPD podcast, CPD for the architectural technologist, and I would add almost anybody else to do with our industry, building surveyors, anybody, engineers, QSs, everybody. So, straight in, and let's go and have a look at the site and have a quick go through the list that I've got up there. 6th of January, CIAT in the local region of Wessex have got CPD going on. Important one, this one, because of the way that the industry is changing at the moment. I would strongly suggest that you take a look at this one. I should be online for that one. CVs, job advice, how to grow and succeed. Things are changing, and we really do need to keep up with the way that that market is changing if you want to go and get new work. I don't need it anymore. I'm almost retired, and what working I am doing is for the university, for lecturing and doing this sort of stuff. So if you're looking for new work or want advice on how to get that work, then please register for this one. It'll be an important one. 14th of January. Now, this one is going to be interesting because it's the first time I've seen LinkedIn doing webinars, and I will watch this with interest to see the way that it works. I've seen it online. I've had a quick look at it, and if it works very well, then I will certainly be using it in the future to publicize this and any other lectures that I do online. Go onto LinkedIn, register via your LinkedIn account, and then go on when it's required. They'll give you a little link to go on to. Interesting way they're going to do it. I've not seen this before, as I said, so I'd be very interested to see how it works. 19th of January, BSI, Net Zero Week on the energy sector. Again, I would strongly recommend this one. Go and listen to it if you're on Stitcher or Google or wherever it is, podcast player, or if you're online or looking at it via the video, then please go and have a look and see where it is and have a registered for it. 19th of January, leveraging collective genius. Now, I'm not sure about this one, but go and have a look. It's on the DBI. I don't know whether you have to pay for this one. Have a look and see if you do or not, and you make the choice, not me. And then the last one I've got registered for January is the 22nd for the Civic Voice for Midland members. Again, register for that. I've got no information on that one yet, but as soon as I do, then I'll put it up onto the site, and I'll probably mention it next week as well when I do my podcast. So, other thing that you need to look at, and that is the old archive of past webinars. Now, on this particular one, there is quite a lot of interesting webinars that have gone through in the past. Now, a lot of organizers will put up links when you go onto that site for an old webinar, and you'll see there's a video or something up there that may be interesting to go and see what they were talking about. Have a look and see which one it is. Ditch That Textbook was a digital summit. They should have some stuff up there. BIM Server Center Co-Workflows, I think they've got something up there. I've picked up a cough and I don't know where it's come from. So I'm drinking water as I speak. And the CIAT Wessex region, again, they've got stuff on there from Paul Smith, CEO of Elm Housing. I watched that one. Very good. So go and have a look and see what's up there, and you will be able to pick up past seminars. Okay, so where are we going now? Let's go and have a look at the let's go and have a look at the presentation that I was going to do. I've got a presentation that I give to my students. It's a book list for the architectural technologist, and to be honest, it's a book list for anybody in our industry. And the way that it works is that I collect books, all sorts of different books. My library is getting bigger and bigger. Okay, so it's predominantly books for the industry. In other words, my architectural, construction, detailing books that I've collected over the years. And I'm now starting to pick up older books. And what I'll do is I'll just flip the presentation. So you're listening to this. Sorry, guys, I'm just flipping to the overhead cam. And on there, I've got a book that I bought recently, which is The Building Construction from Charles Mitchell. In other words, it's one of the original Mitchells. Now, this is very, very good. It's a great way of looking at the construction from older years, and I find this incredibly valuable when I'm doing renovation to old buildings, or I'm doing renovations or adding to or altering existing old buildings. And you can't just go lumping on new buildings into old buildings. You've got to think about the interface, how the old building will work. What was the construction? Are the foundations any good? Do you understand what the brick bond was? Is it English bond? And in that case, which thickness are you looking at? All sorts of different ways of constructing. And so if you understand it, you've got a better chance of making the interface or the repair work properly. So let's go back onto the book list, and let's go look and have a see what the lecture's all about. My advice to anybody is make sure that your reading is as wide as possible. It's so important. I think you should be looking at all sorts of different reading. My bookcase is full of different stuff, from programming through to trees, through to construction mathematics. I'm just looking up at it now. Architectural technology. Oh, Steve Emmett's book, really good one. And then I've got different things for surveying that I've picked up, and a whole host of my old college books, Barry, Mitchell's, Mackay's, all sorts of different stuff. So if you get the chance, go and have a look and see which books you can look at and get your reading as wide as possible. My library keeps on growing and it will not stop. I'm thinking about digitizing some of the older books if their copyright will allow. I'm waiting for our library in the university to tell me how to do this. But I buy books for both sorts, modern construction and heritage. Modern is changing so quickly. It's almost a struggle in its own right just to keep up with modern construction. But if you get the chance, buy both. Also, I start to look at the ways that I can buy these books. Sometimes it's an online version. Sometimes it's just information that's on the internet, and I have to secure that somewhere or other by scanning that site or recording that site. I use Evernote for that. Very good at doing it. But also, I buy books in both paper and digital. So Kindle is very important to me. Sometimes I buy books and I'm thinking, I want to do some more work on this. I want to record paragraphs, and I hate writing in books. So I buy the digital version and I use that to record passages, paragraphs, and areas where I want to research a little bit more. The online version, and I use an Apple MacBook. So the online version for Kindle allows you to do that extremely well. So buy both. Buy the books, and I go to old bookstores, eBay, anywhere where I think I might find old construction books. And then I scour the internet for the new books coming in, for new digital construction techniques, and anything, buy it. So for those of you listening now, you're going to have to go online at some point and have a look. But this is a picture of my current books that I keep out in front of me. And as you can see, I've got my Barry books. I've got my Mitchells there. Those are all the Barry books I went through college with, some other construction books I found, some old Mackays, and he did various books out there, very, very useful. If you can find them, get them. And then these are Mitchell's all the way through here, right down to the very early ones, and then other books that I've read or picked up anywhere. And then I've got another case full of old books. Here you can see my Mackays, some older, relatively new versions of Mitchell's, but these are the ones I went through college with. And then I've got some old tarmac books on asphalt and how that's for different roofing membranes. And then other books on Idiot's Guide to the Internet, I think. And then my old physics book that I went through college with. And again, going through various books on programming, AutoCAD, and then some more Mitchell's books that I've got there. They changed over the years. And these were I call the multi-rainbow ones, were all different colours. Interesting way they went. So I list everything. It got to the point where I couldn't remember whether I got a book or not. And so I listed all my important books, and they're now up online with my complete listed. It's just a spreadsheet, but the spreadsheet's becoming very useful when I can see the year or the publication or the edition, who wrote it, who published it. It's becoming a very useful document for me when I'm doing my research. Older books in construction. I go back onto this about older books about brick bonds, use of lime. We don't use lime that often now, but when you're doing research onto older buildings, it's something you should check out. Was the building constructed with lime? You can't put cement onto lime. It just does not work. And the way I do that is I've got a very friendly lime manufacturer who every time I've wanted it, he's come out to site and told me exactly what's up there. Sometimes it isn't lime, it's cement mix, but often it's not. I found lime there, and I'm really glad that I got the specification right from him as well. Second and first fixed timber, it's different over the years, different types of ways of working. So go and compare, look and see what's being done. And also, it's something we don't teach very often, but timber types. There are different timbers coming online now, and certainly we need to be more secure in the way that we use timber. Also, what was the cut? If you're using particular types of timber in certain applications, you should understand that the cut of the timber will indicate how well it will work in that particular application. Lead, not used very much, but is usable onto old buildings, flashings, lead roofing, all sorts. And there are some very good books I've got or picked up on the use of lead. And of course, old asphalt roofs. We don't see it very often now, but sometimes it's out there, and you should really understand how it's actually used and why, and the different types of asphalt. My library I've already gone through. I've just got loads of books all over us. And also my standards and regulations. The approved documents goes without saying. I've got both digital versions of it, and also in the way that I use some of them more than others, I've actually printed them out, simply because it's easier sometimes to work with a printed version. Robust details. Mostly online these days, although I can't see it at the moment, but I remember now, I'll give it to another lecturer. But there is a printed version. And of course, my old blue book from Tarmac, you saw a picture of it earlier. It is the best book out. And if you can find a version of it, I don't think it's in print any longer, but if you can find one, get it. And of course, this leads you on to the manufacturer's literature. The two that you should have by your side is the White Book by British Gypsum, and the Blue Book. Wow, tongue twister. The Blue Book by Armitage Shanks. Just about every WC, wash hand basin, bidet, and all the gear that goes with it. Excellent book. Journals. I say use books as much as you can, but this is my list, and there's more, I'm sure, that come through. The Architect's Journal, CIS, Construction Information Service, Detail Magazine, Architect's Pocketbooks, the AT magazine. If you're a CIAT member, you get this free. And the weekly online version from Adam Endicott is wonderful. Develop 3D. It's a magazine that comes out that I registered for a long time ago, and I really look forward to it. It's about 3D. It's not just our industry, it's everything. Building magazine, obviously. I go to the library every now and again, and I catch up on that. And also BD magazine or paper. You have to pay for this one, and I don't think the library at the BCU has it anymore, but go and have a look. And of course, the National Planning and Building Control magazine, I get that one too. Lease plans and stuff like that, go and have a look and see. There's useful stuff out there, and the more I find them, I'll put them up onto this. I'm thinking of making an actual simple spreadsheet with all the links that I've ever found and putting that up. So if I do it, I'll let you know about it. And of course, your own library of information. I used to call it my private blue book, which was basically a ring binder with anything that I ever found. But that's now been superseded by this, and that's the way that I collect information. Evernote has always been there. It's changing over the years, and I'm wondering whether it's the right one for me any longer. But hey, if you want to keep a web page and you want the actual copy of it, that page at that particular time, then go and use Evernote. It still works very well. I'm a big fan of Keynote, and so I use that, but it only takes a link. So my work around it is that I use I use Chrome for my browser, and I've got a very nice app that allows me to record a screen capture, and that's the one. It's called Screen Grab. It's free and it is wonderful. And what I do is I make sure that I have a copy of the of the site that I actually want to record, and then I capture either a portion of it or the complete site, put it into my Google Drive, and then create a link to it. It saves it as a PDF. So it is ideal. And it's my workaround for using Evernote. And it's the one I go to probably mostly. And again, more online tech resources. I've put all these on here. You're going to have to go up onto the site and have a look and see which one's out there. So that's it. My ideas on construction books. Browse where you can, see what's out there, and buy them. They're not expensive. £2 or £3 for a really good book. And that's what I'm paying for my collection. Okay, so the older you get, the more rarer they are, the more the value goes up. So have a look and see what's out there, and buy what you need. That's it. Thanks very much. Go and have a look at the site. Another drink of water. There's loads of stuff up on the site, both on my scaves.co.uk site with all my personal stuff, and also a lot of the lectures that I give, and I'm starting to put them up and organize the site a little bit better. For you want to know a subject, if it's not up there, drop me a line and I'll put up what I can. And then the AT-CPD.co.uk website. This is the site where this is recorded to. All the show notes are up there. In other words, ideas and concepts that I've thought about putting up onto the webinar or the podcast are up there. Go and have a look at it. And if you want anything specific, again, please give me a ring, or if you can, drop me a line. That's it. Thanks very much. I hope the Christmas was good for you. Very quiet here, not a lot going on. And so I will see you all very soon. Cheers.